Everyone has something they believe first. It doesn't matter who you are. You have something in your mind that you trust before anything else. That first thing you believe is called a presupposition. Welcome back to Protestant Apologetics. I'm Caleb Price. Today we are going to continue our video series that we started about a month ago, and we are finally ready to lay the groundwork for presuppositional apologetics. If you haven't watched those other videos, make sure to go back and do that, especially if you're new to this. But anyway, back to that question of what is a presupposition. Before we answer that, do me a favor. Like this video. It helps the channel more than you realize. All right, let's get into it. What is a presupposition? Well, a presupposition is something very important. It is a first belief that everything else stands on. Let's break that down. It's like the bottom block in a tower. If you take that bottom block away, the whole tower falls down. That's what a presupposition is. A slightly more complicated definition would be a foundational commitment that underlies all other beliefs. See, it's also something you're stuck with. You cannot just pretend that it's not there. You cannot throw away your presupposition. You cannot pretend you don't have it. You are stuck with it, and you're always using it, even if you don't notice. And everything you believe is dependent upon it. Now, here's a way to understand it. Let's say that I say that the sky is blue. For me to say that, something else has to be true first. Color has to exist. If colors don't exist, then I can't say the sky is blue. So when I say that the sky is blue, I am presupposing the existence of color. That is a presupposition. But that's not even the kind of presupposition we're necessarily talking about. See, that only explains one thing, color, but it doesn't explain a multitude of other things. For example, just because color exists doesn't mean that we can do math. Now, we know that 2 plus 2 equals 4, but it's not because color exists. So we have to ask a bigger question. What is the one thing that makes everything else make sense? So what is the presupposition that allows for all of these other things that we know to be true? The answer is God. God is the reason we can understand anything at all. God is the reason for truth, logic, math, science, even things like color. So, Christians have one big presupposition. That presupposition is God. Now, let's think about somebody who isn't a Christian, like an atheist. They still believe in things like logic, math, science, color, but they don't have one big presupposition that justifies those beliefs. Rather, they have to have a lot of little presuppositions. They have to individually presuppose color, individually presuppose logic. We, on the other hand, as Christians, don't have to do that because we have God. So here's the big idea. Presupposition is the first belief that you start with. It is the foundational commitment that underlies all other beliefs. Some presuppositions explain small things like color, but the presupposition, the ultimate presupposition, explains everything. And that's because it's God. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope that you learned something. Again, this was a quick, bite-sized video just to give you a little bit more understanding before we dive even deeper into Presupp. Now, quick announcement. I've got a video dropping on Friday. That video is going to be completely different from anything I have ever released because it's a conversation. It is a conversation that I had with an atheist not that long ago. This man reached out to me after watching one of my videos wanting to talk. So we did. We talked about various things, Presupp being one of them. He asked me a lot of questions. I did my best to answer them. If you want to support, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. You can go to ProtestantApologetics.com and find more ways to support there. Also, don't forget to watch the video on Friday that's dropping. Um, let's see. I do want to say thank you to everybody who might still be watching. It is a huge blessing. And you can't even fathom how much it means to me. So, but that's it. So, I will see you in the next one. And to God be the glory. Amen.